says, shall not all these take up a parable against him?
Yep.
And a taunting proverb?
Shall not all these nations start to speak against them now? That's what we're starting to see now. The nations are starting to speak against these Edomites in America and the things that they've been doing. But it's only going to increase. Go ahead.
And the taunting
And now we're at a point where now the Edomites are trying to fight back with words. Although they did all this wickedness all around the planet, now they're the victims. Right? Now they're, we did it because y'all were primitive savages. That's what Matt Walsh said. Right? Okay, but let's say they were, which they weren't. There was all kind of civilizations all throughout South America that they burned the records of. Okay? But let's say they were. Does that give you the right to destroy them and take their land? It doesn't justify you in that. Okay? Go ahead.
And a taunting proverb against him,
Yep.
and saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Woe to you that are taking that which doesn't belong to you. This is the Bible now. They came with the Bible and they did this. So they're even double condemned. Go ahead.
It says, woe, so like it says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Right. Well, woe to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. When you look up that word clay in the Hebrew, it's abatya. When the word abatya, clay, it says clay there, but in the Hebrew, it's abatya. This is originally Hebrew. One of the definitions for abatya.
So this is the Old Testament, right?
Yes, Old Testament. One of the words for abatya is heavy debts.
Yeah.
Heavy debts. That's what we're going into. This is how they enslaved the world.
Yeah, the Jewish people didn't believe in loans. They were sanctioned, yeah.
Right, which those people now that call themselves, they believe heavy in it. They live off of that. Sure. All right? These are the real Israelites. Okay? These are the real Israelites. Because according to our culture, we are not supposed to lend to the poor with usury. Why? Because you're going to put them in a deeper hole. But they like to keep people in holes.
No, you had to, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
They like to keep people in holes. Our people don't, it was against our law to do that, man.
Yeah, it was against
amongst
our law.
the Israelites.
Even loaning a house, you have to give it back.
You have to give it back.
At the end of 7-year term, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Beautiful. That's good. That's good. It's good that you know that. That's good. Go ahead.
Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee?
And we had a year of Jubilee, which would year where you would have a year of release.
Yeah, and actually the farming had a lot to do with it.
Yep. And it's really so that it's also so that the people they have the debts, and if they couldn't pay it back, they were just in a hole. They would just release you. You'll be good.
You will become a slave.
No, you wouldn't become a slave. You would be released.
You could pay debts by becoming a slave.
You could. No, you could. No. But I'm talking about the year of release.
Oh, the year of release.
The year of release. All your debts.
Any Jew that became a slave in the year of Jubilee will be released.
Exactly. Will be released. That's it. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them?
Hold on. You said they would be released if they were a slave?
Yes.
No. I'm talking about the debts. I'm talking about the debts.
Because if you decide to pay a debt by
you could be a slave.
serving,
You could be a
at the
slave.
year of Jubilee, if you were Jewish, it counted as your debt being sold. So if you became a slave 1 year before the year of Jubilee, if the year of Jubilee came, your owner had to give you have to release you.
I don't know. I don't think that's not written in the text though.
No, that's in, if I'm not mistaken, that should be in the book of where it states all the
law, Leviticus, Deuteronomy. I know the debts is gone, but I don't know that it didn't mention that. But that would make sense. That would make sense though. That would make sense. Although it didn't mention that specifically.
No, for sure. That's not talking about that specifically.
Right. Go ahead. But that is true. They go into slavery to pay the debts. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
Because of everything that they've done, they're gonna be spoiled. See, so that's that retribution that's getting ready to come upon these Edomites. All right, so that's part of the message that we have as well. Okay, is that Esau is going to get judged and these other nations. All right, but then guess what? The Israelites are going to be on top. Okay, all 12 tribes, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Just so I understand your position, your guys' position better. Sorry, I understand you better.
No worries, man.
When you're talking about the 12 tribes, and you put sorry, I don't want to say the word, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Puerto Rican. You're saying that those are equivalent to these 12, or they?
Yes, equivalent. These are their actual names. These were the names that their enemies gave.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
So yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So that's
okay. So the Bible has a lot of wisdom that applies today, like you're doing right now, because as you said, the proverb of the cup, putting the cup. Yes, what you were saying is right. It can be interpreted that way. It's a good interpretation of what's happening today.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Honestly, the 12 tribes of the Israelites are very well established who they are. Do you know me?
In the world now?
Yeah, me as a Palestinian, I go to the Israeli. Listen. My mom has the entire family tree, all the way back to the guy that lived in Palestine, back in the time of history, like 2,000 years of history. So that means that we have an entire genealogical tree. That's why when if you see any Jew passing by and actually like seeing this, it's gonna be like, what the fuck? Because they actually have their entire family tree. They have their entire family tree.
Why is it illegal to take a DNA test in the United States?
I cannot answer why it's illegal. What I can tell you is that
it doesn't make much sense, does it?
No, it does not. It does not. I'm not disputing that.
So me, I'm not going to dispute they have.
Like for example,
no, I am going to dispute
Utopian.
because I know for a fact. I know for a fact that there was a transition of the Khazarians into Judaism, which from the land of Turkey.
Yes.
Which they descend from those.
Yes.
And they didn't
absolutely.
They don't have the records going back to the Khazarians.
No, yes. I agree. That was what I mean. For example, Ethiopian people. There's a lot of Ethiopian Jews. Because they send them from David.
A lot of what Jews?
Ethiopian Jews. Yeah.
Ethiopian?
Yeah.
They don't descend from David. The Ethiopians are Cushites. They're Cushites. They come from a totally different line. Okay? You can even ask them, they know they're Cushites. Okay? They're not Israelites at all. Okay? The Israelites, like I'm telling you, they're
just descendants from
they're Hamites. They're from the land of from Cush. They're not Israelites at all. Matter of fact, get me dealing with you don't even have to get that. Get me what you would call it, the genealogy, endless genealogy. Don't be worried about endless genealogies because it's stupid to even try that. Because these people, I know they don't have the records going back that time. I know that. I guess
my point is
because you really, at the end of the day, you know you have to have the records to go back to.
Yeah.
You have to have the records that go back to Jacob. That's the only way to be solidified.
Yeah.
You have to go back to Jacob. So we're not talking 2,000 years ago.
No.
Hold on. We're not talking 2,000 years ago. We're talking more like 4,000 years ago.
No Maya, no people, no because I see Cubans and Puerto Ricans. They can because they have a lot of African descent there. But Guatemalans and Panamanians,
the so-called African descents they have over there, those are Israelites too. Those are from the southern kingdom. Those are those that came
that's why I'm not disputing that one. I mean, Guatemala, because I know a lot of Indian descendants, and bro, they're not true.
They are Israelites. Matter of fact, even John, what's his name? John Adair, James Adair, he wrote about them. And not only him, multiple scholars wrote about them and said these have to be the Israelites because of their customs. They even were speaking Hebrew when they came over here. Do you know Christopher Columbus brought a Hebrew interpreter on this side of the earth? Do you know that?
No.
You don't. And that's why we have to educate you. Because Christopher Columbus, he brought a Hebrew interpreter here because he knew who he was coming to encounter were actual Israelites, not Indians like they tell you in the stories, the renditions. Okay, that's a lie. Okay? They were Israelites that he was coming to encounter. Go ahead. That's why, matter of fact, they wore fringes on the bottom of their garments. Right? The Native Americans, the Peruvians, they wore the fringes at the bottom. The fringes was exclusive to the Israelites. This was an Israelite custom on the bottom of your garment going back to the law in Leviticus. Okay? Matter of fact, get that law real quick. Okay, dealing with Leviticus, the law of the border blue. The garment. Go ahead.
Garments?
The garments, meaning your clothing.
You have to be careful there because there is the only law for garments is when you're going inside the temple.
Well, I'm gonna show you you're wrong. I'm gonna show you you're wrong. To be careful when you speak. Go ahead. You read it. You got it?
This is the book of Numbers. This is the book of Numbers 15 to the point of verse 38. speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe the border of a ribbon of blue.
That's it. All right. So the fringes was a custom of the Israelites.
Can you
was
read
one of
me
the-
2 before, please?
Okay.
Yeah, this is Numbers 15 and verse 36. It says, and all the congregation brought him through the camp and stoned him with stones.
That was a guy
Then-
who was picking up sticks. You can even go up a little bit more to show him that it was the guys picking up sticks on the Sabbath.
I'm gonna go up to verse.
I just want to know the context of the phrase, of the problem.
Yeah, I can tell you. But you can
Yeah, I'm
read
gonna go
it.
up to verse 32. It
Guys
says,
picking up sticks on the Sabbath got put to death. Go ahead.
and while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day, and they found him gathering sticks, brought him unto Moses and Aaron, unto all the congregation.
Oh, give me
And
the
they
second
put him
verse.
inward because it was not declared what should be done to him. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their
The
garments.
reason why he did that was so that they could remember to keep the laws. This is just a reminder of the law statute.
Okay, perfect. No problem. Okay, that's
Go ahead.
good.
It says,
Prove me wrong. You did prove me wrong. That's good. That's good.
Go ahead.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto for you a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye use to go
No,
war.
you can finish it. Okay, that's it. So that's the point on it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
So that is another sign that they're the Israelites. Okay. There's many signs. I mean, we could be here all day, but I'm gonna show you one great one. This shows you how they got there. Because you know the so-called white man, these Edomites, say that lie that they came over the Bering Strait. Oh, the Ice Age. I mean, they could just say anything and these people would believe it. They got a witchcraft over there. You know? What the hell would they eat? You know what I mean? What did they hunt? You know how long it would take you to walk? It's just a so stupid concept. That's not what happened. This is what happened. They took a boat. They took boats from that side of the earth to this side of the earth. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 13 and verse 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered together a peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
Simeon all the way to this part. Go ahead. Which is also known as the northern kingdom. Okay? We are known as the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, but we're all brothers, we're all one. Go ahead.
In the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. So came they into another land, and they took counsel among themselves that they should leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into
So they were taken into captivity by the Assyrians. Okay?
Just let me note the passage.
It's a 2nd Ezra 13, verse.
Give me one second. I have to find the notes. Give me 1 second.
She mentions this book in the movie 1492.
Yep.
Christopher Columbus.
Which book is it? Sorry?
Ezra, the book of Ezra, 2nd Ezra, 13th chapter, in the 41st verse on down.
It's because I'm Spanish, so I read the Bible in Spanish.
It's okay, man. ESDRAS.
Thank you. Yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
It says, what they took this counsel among themselves, that they should leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Now, where's that further country where never mankind dwelt? The Americas. New World. Go ahead.
It says that that they might there keep the statutes which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the
passages.
rivers.
The same passage. Oh, sorry.
It says, by the narrow places of the river, where the Most High showed them, the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Yeah, so we helped them to get over here safely. Right? You know the Most High actually showed signs to Christopher Columbus too to get over. They have something called Elmo's Fire. Why? Because prophecy had to be fulfilled.
I have no idea.
No, but you can look it up, man. You can type in your phone. Elmo's Fire. Go ahead. Because they were about to kill each other, eat each other out of the now you brought us here to die. But then what happened, the Lord showed us the sign of they're going the right way. So Elmo's Fire, which is a chariot. But anyways, but it's not because he was righteous, he's the devil. But prophecy has to be fulfilled. The story has to continue. Go ahead, man.
Verse 45, for through that country there was a great way to go.
Yeah.
Namely of a year and a half.
Right. They weren't going to Egypt. They weren't going to. We took a year and a half to get there. This was this side of the earth, from the eastern hemisphere to the western hemisphere, right?
And the same region is called Arsarat.
Arsarat. And there's certain documents calling the Americas Arsarat. Okay. Right. Even this word Canada, this may be a Hebrew word. Hey, Shalom, bro. This may be a Hebrew word meaning Canaan. Right? Cananda. Go ahead.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now they shall begin to come.
Right. Right. Oh, and they would dwell there until the latter time. So we're in the latter times now.
Yeah.
So where are they now? They're still on this side of the earth. Okay? They're still on this side of the earth. They're descendants. That's what it's speaking about. Right? So the indigenous people, those are Israelites as well. Okay? The so-called southern kingdoms, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and this. And there's many documents you can look up about that. Right? Which I believe Glenn Beck was fired for bringing out some information about that too. And CNN years ago, he brought out some information about the indigenous being Israelites. They fired his ass. Okay? I wonder why. These are truths that they don't want out. Okay? These are things that they don't want out. These are things
I've
they
never
want
looked into the. I have never looked into this side of things. So.
But it should be mainstream. Everyone should know about it because it's true. You know, it's true.
Sure. I don't see why not. If it's true, I don't see why not.
Absolutely. Well, we know why, right? We know why because they're hiding their own identity along with the identity of the Israelites. Because if we're the Israelites, the people read the Bible, they're supposed to be ruled. And who are these people in the land calling themselves Israelites? You understand? A lot of questions will come up.
Just other descendants, no?
Huh?
Just other descendants?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Those are people that have taken on the identity, but they're not of the lineage. They don't fit the prophecies, man. Go ahead.
This is Luke 12 and verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known.
Yeah, everything uncovered that was hidden is going to be known. Right? Everything is going to come to the light. We're just the beginning propellers of that because we're the prophets on the streets. But the earth moves after the vibration of the prophets. Okay? Sit on that? Okay, bring that up.
Turn this to the book of Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession.
They took the land of the Lord into their possession. The Idumeans, the Edomites, is another way of saying Edom. Okay, go ahead.
With the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for prey.
That's it. So they can do it and rip it apart, take what they want. Okay, that's what they did. All right. So that's the prophecy that deals with them. Okay, with us, which you said, I know the indigenous, the Israelites. I'm guessing you said, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing you said, I don't think they're Israelites, based upon the fact of how they are.
No, based upon the fact that, for example, Mayans and peoples, they have their own the Popol Vuh, which is their own creation story.
Oh, you're talking
about their own culture and different rites of.
The Israelites always became wicked. That's why the Heavenly Father.
They have the different deities that don't know what side with Jewish tradition, right?
The Israelites always had different deities, man. You know when Moses was coming from the mountain, they started with worshiping a calf.
Yeah.
They always had different deities. They were worshiping Molech. Solomon worshipped Molech. Different, all kind of deities, man.
No, well, yeah. I mean, Solomon is a rough one. Solomon is a rough one.
No, but
Because
listen, brother. Listen, my friend.
Yeah.
All of the Israelites did this. Israelites did this constantly over. Get me according to thy city is thy gods, O Judah. Okay? They do this. They do this.
No, yes.
So that's
no disputing.
So that's
You're
it.
right.
So
They
that's
did
it.
have a lot of.
So them doing that, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. And I believe that's why the conquistadors. That's what the Lord let the conquistadors do what they did. Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 28. But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Let them arise if they can save thee in the time of thy trouble.
Right.
For according,
Gods, plural. Go ahead.
for according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah.
That's it. Okay? So say, man, that's how the Israelites get down. You understand what I'm saying? But this is why they're under the curses. That's why they're on the bottom. That's why they're downtrodden. Because of that. The Lord put curses on them. We went back to Deuteronomy 28 chapter.
Sure.
Okay? So this is it. So those people, they don't fit the curses at all. They don't ever get one. They don't fit the curses, not even one bit. Okay? We fit the curses. So that's it on that, man. Glad that you came out. Glad you learned something.
No, it's fine. I'm
All
more.
right, man. You make sure you have a good night, all right, bro?
Yeah, you too, man.
Good night, bro. So with that, we're going to close up. We'll face the east. We'll give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, L'chakodash.
the lives of the apostles and elders of great millstone salutations. Much love and respect to Akim out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Shabbat, Yashallah, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Chud, Shabbat, Yashallah, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Chud, Shabbat, Yashallah, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Chud, Abad Baba, Kwam Yashallah, Kwam Yashallah.
One last question. Do you believe in Jesus or no?
Well, we believe in the